I'm not even doing that. I'm doing the ears. I'm not even in. Yep, there we go. What is up, party people? Welcome to Saturdays and Seltzers. Long time no chat. I don't think we've talked at all this year. Our last episode was right before the new year, I think, but you all know her. You all love her. If you follow me on Twitter or SNS on Twitter, please welcome Hailey. Hello. Can we get some applause in the chat?
Hi. Thank you.
We are here kind of high. We did definitely not do anything ever before this show at all.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a little awkward, that's probably why. But welcome, Hailey. How are we doing?
I'm
things?
just ducky, buddy. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah.
A long time in the making.
I know. Hailey travels with me to all the Jags games. She went with me to the draft. She's bestie girl. We met in college. She's a sports gal. Hailey,
oh yeah.
Do you want to, you know what? And just in case people don't know, how'd you get into sports? Where are you from? All the things. Tell me your 3 facts about yourself. Like it's the first day of school.
I was so unprepared for the interview. Well, hi, I'm Hailey DeMello. I went to school with Kendra at UNH, and I got a degree in communications and sports studies. And now I work more in the corporate side of sports, but Kendra and I have been friends for almost 4 years now, so she's just kind of badass. Honestly, it was so good because it was just right in my headphone as the crack happened.
Oh, that's why I did it. It was like ASMR, you know?
It reminded me that I was thirsty.
I'm drinking a zombie water.
Oh, yeah. I'm drinking a peach high noon because I'm basic, but also they're so good.
This is from Vitamin C Brewing in Weymouth, Mass. Shout out Weymouth. Charlie Coyle, Weymouth guy.
Yeah.
Big Weymouth guy.
Mayor of Weymouth, if you will.
Some are saying.
Some are saying. It's him. Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, so that's me. And I am Kendra's uncertified certified assistant. So I travel all over the country with her and we just do ridiculous shit. So I'm happy to be on. Happy to talk some Jags. Can't wait.
Slay, the most honorary Jags fan of all time.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We'll get into why I'm struggling.
Yeah, so I'm throwing Hailey right into the fire. We're not skipping a beat with this show. She is giving you guys an HLH. If this is your first episode, your HLH is your high of the last week, your low of the last week, and your hero of the last week. I was in a full-on depressive state when I wrote mine out today, like panicking with work. So I'm going to redo them. I'm also going to play edible roulette tonight because I want this to hit exactly when the show is over. And it takes, like an hour. So I'm going to do it now while Hailey gives you her HLH. Actually, just give me your high and I'll give you my high.
Let's start with the high. My high of the week is going to be the resurfacing / virality of the Joe Burrow Pledge of Allegiance video. I think that is probably one of my favorite videos on the internet. I think it is absolutely hilarious. His mom, so good. Just America's sweetheart. It's
America's sweetheart.
It's just so good. And it is so funny every time I see it. There's just something about it, man. That's easily the high of my week. I've retweeted it. I have every time I see it, I share that video.
Are you pro the simping for Joe Burrow on TikTok or anti Joe Burrow simping on TikTok?
It's almost like I had that written down to talk about later for our pop culture discussion, but
give it to me now.
I'm giving it to you now. So I would be very hypocritical to say that I am against the simping for Joe Burrow. In turn, Tyler's take is that he doesn't like LSU people simping for Joe Burrow, which I think is so stupid. Like,
that is dumb, Tyler. What the fuck?
That's such a weird take. But anyway, I love Joe Burrow. I think he's adorable, and
he doesn't like Ohio State either.
I know. And
side.
My coworker will, if you're watching, I'm so sorry if we talk about Ohio State in a negative fashion on this.
I'm not sorry. I'm pro Ohio State slander. Fuck you, Urban Meyer.
Yeah, well, duh.
Okay.
So anyway, you're high. Go ahead.
I got a free sandwich yesterday. And
I need to hear about this.
I literally just went somewhere for media coverage and they let me have a free sandwich at lunch and I ate half there and I took the other half home. And I just don't think that there's like such a high honor that I could have had. Like free sandwich,
Wow.
count me in. I honestly would eat any free sandwich except for a tuna sandwich, I think.
Wow. Are
Yeah.
you not a tuna gal or just tuna sandwiches in
No,
particular?
I'm anti-tuna.
In sushi too?
I'm fine with it in sushi, but like canned
I've had a
sushi,
spicy tuna roll with you. You
anything with
fraud.
anything with mayo involved in it, like egg salad, tuna salad, all that stuff. Even though I'm a southerner and that feels like a sin, I'm not a real big mayo person.
Is it a consistency thing?
No, I think it's because my dad referred to it as God's lubricant growing up. I'm so serious and I just can't.
I literally can't even take a sip out of that because I'm gonna laugh and it's gonna
That's like
spread
the
everywhere.
ultimate form of PTSD.
Oh my God, that is so gross.
My other high is that Hailey texted me yesterday and she was like, so are we wearing Jags gear for the show or are we wearing all black for their funeral? And I said, I think that it's a celebration of life, which is why I'm in the cat suit and Hailey is in that outfit. But I'm in the cat. Yeah, I'm in the cat suit. So yeah, that's also a high. I love wearing this thing just because I can it's just so expressive. There's sport mode, there's regular mode, there's hand warmers, there's a tail. Like it's just, it's very high fashion.
It is. It's multi-purpose actually, which is great.
I told Hailey I felt like a furry. So that's what, but we did win when I wore this outfit. I've watched it since, don't worry. But true. Okay, what was your low?
All right. Low of the week is going to be that Elon kicked me off Twitter. My Twitter got deleted. And this season I was ride or die with the Jags fan base. I was with them in the trenches.
In the trenches.
And then as soon as I started getting a following in the Jags community, I got my Twitter deleted.
It's so confirmed that God hates the Jags.
Yeah, God hates the Jags and me particularly these past couple of weeks. So I have a new Twitter. Kendra's calling it my burner account, but it's literally my last name and my first name. Give me a follow on there because I'm pretty sure that I'm not getting my old Twitter back. I've tried a lot of different things and it's not working. So
have you tried tweeting Elon your titties?
No. That is a bold strategy.
That's the way to do it. You should just be like, Elon, how many retweets of my titties for you to give me my account back? And then he just doesn't respond, but you get a bunch of interaction and follows, and it's like, boom, you were right back where you started.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. We can discuss later. Off table.
Odds. No, odds.
No, here's the thing. And here's why I won't do it, because then I'll have to make another Gmail account because I had to make another burner Gmail account for this new Twitter. So if I get kicked off of my Twitter now, it's disastrous for the brand.
I just love that they think you're 13.
No, so the issue is that I made my Twitter when I was 12 and a half. And they, I was looking at my Twitter and I was like, oh, that's not my birthday, because I put my birthday as something different when I signed up for Twitter. So I went and changed my birth year. I narked on myself basically and was like, no, I was born in 99. And then Twitter was like, gotcha. literally within seconds, it was like because I tweeted when I was 12 and I don't even know what
Wow. Look at you. Badass.
So that's my low. Also, real quick, other low of the week, back-to-back Celtics losses in the beautiful Sunshine State. So, not
Struggle
great.
City.
Not a great look. Not a great look, but hopefully we can get our shit together. That'd be sweet.
My low is just seasonal depression's kicking my ass. Especially after I came back from Florida. I just hate it. Like, I shouldn't have left because now it's so much worse because I want to go home. So that's my low. Very short, sweet, and to the point. What is your hero?
My hero of the week is Drew Lock.
All right, give it to me.
So, Drew Lock, former Broncos quarterback, was traded to the Seattle Seahawks with a couple other homies for Russell Wilson. Bronco Nation, let's ride.
Broncos country, let's ride.
He gets to Seattle. He becomes the backup for Geno Smith. Russell Wilson this season throws for the same amount of touchdowns that our boy Drew Lock threw his season in 2020, 16. And on Twitter, I just saw a bunch of clips of him dancing in Broncos gear. And I was like, honestly, Drew Lock, like, you did just as well. He led the league in interceptions that year also.
You know, 15. Yeah.
So,
okay, like, Trevor Lawrence has been there. Matt Stafford's been there, and he won a Super Bowl the same year.
So, I love an underdog story. I love, a Rudy. I love, Mighty Ducks, Air Bud, Drew Lock for me. Just gonna.
All right.
I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him.
Slay. My hero is being a brunette. And that's it. I kind of am still having fun with it, and I'm not used to it. So the end. Girl things. Okay. I wanted to talk about the Jags season as a whole. I said on this show right before the season started that all I wanted was to be above 500, and I wanted to see improvement on all aspects, like coaching, quarterback play, all of it. And they were the first team in NFL history to go from the first pick to the playoffs. So I would say not only is that improvement, but they obviously also went over 500. They won the AFC South. They beat the Titans twice. That's huge. But I look back at the season and I'm like, turnovers at a bad time seem to be kind of the song of the season, just because it always felt like it was either an ETN fumble in the red zone that you couldn't get back that lost you the game, a Trevor turnover. You look back at, we'll get to the postseason, but it's like that's kind of what seemed to end their season as well, and almost ended their season against the Chargers even earlier. But like, you were playing with house money at that point, so it doesn't even really matter. I did really appreciate the defense's progression after the bye week. I thought at one point Mike Caldwell might be fucking fired during the season. I was like, Mike Caldwell literally might be out of here at any moment, but he saved his job in my opinion. Do I think that he is my favorite hire? No. Do I think that he deserves to keep his job? Yes. And then I thought the special teams kind of kicked ass. Like they had that, kickoff that they decided to recover against the Chiefs successfully, like opening kickoff, which was awesome. Jamal Agnew played really well. I think Logan Cook
onside kick, unreal,
crazy.
From Doug P pulling absolute wild plays against Andy Reid. The
Duval special,
unreal.
And I thought Logan Cook had like an underappreciated season. It's like, I know that punters and kickers don't get a lot of love unless they're like unless they're just like, Harrison Butker is like the first person that comes to mind that's like a punter that gets respect, but he's also handsome. So I like don't even want to throw his name out there because it's like, yes, he's fucking incredible, but like, and he's a kicker, punter, like whatever, but also like there's just not a lot of people out there that get respect at that position, any kicking position, and I think that he's one of them that deserves it. And I have some thoughts on the rookies as well, but do you have any thoughts on the season that you had that you kind of want to circle back to at the beginning?
No, we can circle to this now before you get into rookies though. I just had right under like kind of that just our adventures this season with the Jags.
It's true.
I feel like if we want to recap that real quick. So Vegas for the draft, unreal, so much fun. We went to Washington for week 1, super impulsively, took a train for 8 hours.
The train was incredible.
I was just recently talking about how much I love that train.
I have like a romantic relationship with both those trains.
And I think the thing is that we both can work remotely with what we do. So we just worked on the train.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were in
incredible.
DC and we were like, this is great. Like I didn't even feel like it was that long of a ride at all.
I had some away games that I was thinking about looking at already, so I might just like bring up the schedule while we talk about this for away games next year. Well, actually, no, because there's places I'm looking at, but also like it's gonna depend on the weather for me.
Yeah, I have that in too. Like, so Vegas, we went to Commanders, we went to week 11, we went to the Titans, which was so much fun. And then shout out intern Tyler, who hosted us.
I need you to rank them. Yes, shout out Tyler. I need you to rank them.
Our trips?
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm gonna put. I had so much fun on all of them. So highlights of. So I'm gonna put number 3 Washington. Highlights were Kendra's friends that I got to meet from Jacksonville were so much fun. They were so great, and that was like my first time meeting like Jags game day fans because I had done the Vegas thing, but I hadn't done a game day yet. So that was really awesome and really cool. So shout out them. But that stadium, FedEx, is the
garbage.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Garbage. The worst NFL stadium I've ever been to.
I was flabbergasted by that.
I couldn't, dude, I never want to go there ever again.
No, absolutely not. And I believe it was you or Tyler who said that they had the worst chicken tenders that they've ever had in their life there.
It was Tyler.
And that is such a, like, you know what I mean? That's so.
Did they have a male cheerleader? I can't remember.
I don't know, but they didn't slay as much as the Titans ones did.
The Titans cheerleaders. That's the one thing I will give the tits. They have great dancers.
Absolutely worked it.
My 3 would also be DC.
I would put number 2. I don't know. I would put number 2 as the Titans because we sat. Or no. I don't know. I want to put Titans number 1 because we sat front row. No, number 2. Okay, yeah, I would put Titans number 2. Vegas number 1.
Vegas was so fun.
And I knew that when I was like trying to make excuses why I did not put it number 1, but it is so number 1. Vegas was incredible. Literally, some of them. I will remember that trip for the rest of my life. Like,
that was like, I think my favorite trip I've ever been on.
I think the draft should be in Vegas every year.
Me too.
I think that is the way to go. Like, I just easily one of the most amazing trips I've ever done. And it was so much fun. Like, I feel like.
Are we going to go to Kansas City for the draft? I feel like no, the Jags have a late pick and I really just don't give a shit to go to see it literally the fucking middle of the country and eat barbecue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's literally like the Chiefs and barbecue, and then like people I've talked to are like, oh, like Kansas City has great strip clubs, but like I can't imagine like great strip clubs for Missouri, like you know what I mean? I'm sus about
Atlanta,
that. And like if that's like on your list of draws, like there's nothing else like that. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I mean, the draft is a ton of fun. That's the thing. Like being there in person is fun. But honestly, Kansas City is not ideal.
I'd rather go somewhere else.
Like, yeah. I
want to go to Cleveland. I want to potentially go to Buffalo. And then New Orleans, maybe Tampa. Those are my 4 away games.
Yeah, I am on board for all of them.
Should we go to NOLA? Can we confirm like set in stone NOLA?
Set in stone NOLA for sure. I also have on the calendar for us F1 in Vegas is coming. So that's going to be literally insane. I was just in Vegas for Christmas because that's what I do. I guess, you know, super
New
casual,
tradition.
super casual. You know, I was just in Vegas for Christmas. No, but I went on vacation with my brother and my mom. It was so much fun. Anyway, but Formula 1 is coming and that's going to be sick. Like, it's going to be crazy. I don't need to know hotel prices. It's going to be nuts. Like, I'm sure it's so crazy. Expensive. But, like, we should figure something out. If anyone knows any way we can cover F1, let me know. Because I would love to go to Vegas for the F1.
I know
race.
nothing about F1. I just want to see it.
Yeah, they're doing it on the strip. Like
I
the
know.
race. It's
I
insane.
know. That's why I want to
so
go.
Excited.
Okay. Perfect. So those are our sort of thinking away games. Well, at least for sure locked in, be going to NOLA. I want to train somewhere. That has to be a must. We need to train somewhere.
We do need to train somewhere.
Or I don't know. I need to train somewhere immediately. I want to go to New York. Let's go to New York, actually.
We should go to New York.
Okay, slay. We're just high and talking, but I'm like actually kind of serious.
No, I'm serious too. I want to go for the Big East tournament this year.
I could be convinced.
They do it at the Garden, which is kind of fun. I don't know if they're gonna. That's what they've done in the past. I've always wanted to go, but I have never gone. So, because I like, do I want to go to a Nets game? Not really. Do I want to watch basketball at the Garden? Yeah. So, like,
fair, valid. Okay.
But you were gonna do your rookie rankings. I would like to hear them for the Jags.
I just have a couple grades for the first 5 picks. The last 2 guys didn't really like. It didn't stick out to me.
Did I say ratings?
I should have done the pyramid.
Yeah, a tier. Yeah, at the bottom of the pyramid.
I'm gonna do that. The pyramid of rookies.
At the bottom of the pyramid.
Yes. So the bottom of my pyramid, I would say probably, okay, what I need to ask is, do I need to grade just their performance alone, or what I think of like the draft pick as a whole 1 year in, or?
I don't know. I think it's an overall grade. I think you can consider both, right?
Okay. All right. So my bottom 2.
Not the bottom.
Based off of that, the player and like where we drafted them, I would say Devin Lloyd would be the bottom of my period. Why do I always do that? Every show, every time we do a pyramid, I say period. Every time. I swear to God, it happens every single episode. And I don't do it on purpose at all. Pyramid.
Period.
Per. Okay. It would have to be Devin Lloyd. Towards the beginning of the season, he had a couple fumble recoveries that were good. He had almost a pick 6. I think that there was, a penalty on Trayvon Walker that called it back, if I'm not mistaken. So, and he did not play at all towards the end of the year, nor should he. I think he has a low football IQ. I think that he needs the Kyler clause in his contract. He needs to be watching some film. He was getting fucking lost out there, which I do have Chad Muma on this list as well. But part of what makes it worse for me, as far as like an overall pick, is that they traded up to get Devin Lloyd, got Chad Muma later in the draft, and Chad wound up playing more than Devin. And I know why they did it, and it was because Devin was projected to go higher than I think that he should have, based off of like how he performed this season. But you were like a first round draft pick, and you were getting benched for a guy that was also a rookie that was drafted later than you when you were traded up for, and you felt like you were just getting outworked. I don't know. It kind of just felt like he was relying on being a good athlete. In the pros, you can't do that. Like you just can't rely on being a good athlete anymore, because you're around the best of the best athletes. And I think that Chad Muma is just a smart player. Do I think he's the most athletic kid on the field? Absolutely not. But he got embarrassed a couple times this season, but he had a good year. I gave him a B+. I would say he's probably in that like gray area of the draft for me. Another pick that I didn't love, if we are doing this all cumulatively, do I think that Trayvon Walker is a beast athlete? Yes. Do I think that he can absolutely blossom into a great pass rusher? Not even including the talk of changing the way that the defense plays right now. Yes, I think he can do that. But anytime you are a first overall pick, I think that you should be in conversation for a defensive rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year, something like that. And what makes it worse is that Aiden Hutchinson is in that conversation, and so is Sauce Gardner. So, hello.
So I would just say, if you're watching me and I'm smiling and I'm laughing, it's because how did you feel about that pick when it happened? Because I was there in person.
Yeah, I was standing on the table crying at the draft.
If you told us then that we would be having this conversation now, we would have believed you. Like, I feel like with that pick, you knew, and even I, not even as a Jag super fan at the time, but, you know, just a general football fan, saw that pick and was like, huh,
It changed.
So it's unfortunate that it didn't, I really wanted it to work out and have, it change our mind, but it kind of worked out exactly how we thought it was going to.
There's still time for it to work out. I believe in giving guys 3-ish years. There's been examples where I think that we cut ties at a good time. One being Laviska Shenault of recent, Kayla Von Chason, another thing, Taven Bryan, another recent. Yeah, we suck at the draft. Do I think that there's still time for him to develop into the player that we think that he is when we drafted him? Yes. But the conversation changed so quickly to Trayvon Walker being taken at that first pick. And it's like, I was obviously apprehensive about it. And I think he can still work out, but it's just like, anytime you're a first overall pick, I think that you should, unless you're a quarterback, let me preface that, unless you're a quarterback, but that position, I think that you should be in the conversation, especially because the guy taken right after you is. That's my point. I would say the top of my pyramid would be, well, not the top of my pyramid, but like my second place would be probably Chad Muma, Snoop Connor right under him. He had a huge touchdown return when we needed him at one point in the year with J-Rob gone, and him behind Etienne and Hasty. I think he's fine. He played his role well. I think he's decent depth there, but he just didn't really play enough for me to be surprised. I don't know. I kind of expected him to be that guy in the running back core to pick up the blitz, and that just didn't wind up happening. But so he's fine. And I would say Chad Muma right above him just because of the shoes that he was asked to fill. But the shoes that Luke Fortner was asked to fill and how he filled them, incredible. I think that Luke Fortner was an absolute A of a draft pick, especially where they got him. He had a lot of unexpected production at that position this year. And I think that he can absolutely develop into like a long time player for us, especially if they keep him and Trevor around and Etienne around. I think that that's a home run.
A lot of love in the fan base too for him.
I love Luke Fortner.
Yeah.
I think that he's a good dude. I'm glad to have him on our team. So that is kind of my roundup of the season. Like I said, I feel like the overarching theme was just turnovers at bad times, which kind of brings me to our postseason thoughts, which I have in our notes, no thoughts, just cardiac cats, because it's so true. Between the Chargers game and then the Jamal Agnew turnover and then the Trevor turnover and just everything going perfectly for the Jags to win that game. Like, I don't wish injury on anyone at all, but Patrick Mahomes getting hurt is just one of those things, unfortunately, in sports where like it might hurt another team so much, but it could have another team fall into place, and that could have been us. And like the rest of the season, bad turnovers at bad times and them beating themselves turned into a loss. And it's like they were playing with house money. They had no business beating the Chiefs, but they were right there.
Right.
And that just defines the season for me. I was at the Chargers game. It honestly just kind of felt like a movie, and people like talked about how amazing the game was. Like, nobody in the crowd left. Like, nobody in the fucking crowd left. It was what, like 27-0 at the half, I think 27-0.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking left. And it was insane. Like, one of the craziest games I've ever been to. And I feel as though the comeback kind of shied away what the immediate problem was. And it goes right back to the theme of fucking turnovers. 4 turnovers in the first half. Like that, or first quarter even, maybe. I know it was the first half, maybe in the first quarter. I know it was 3 in the first quarter. It might have even been 4. But it's just like, I thought that Chargers team had us in a body bag, and nobody seemed to talk about the turnover issue. The Chiefs, I think they were a super beatable team, but like I said, like we beat ourselves again. And the Agnew turnover, the Trevor turnover, I don't understand why people are so mad at Jamal Agnew. Like, we wouldn't have even been in this game if it wasn't for him, because he was averaging like 40 yards of return in the postseason. And a couple of his returns set the offense up for touchdowns in the Chargers game because he put them in good field position. And it's like, yeah, he had a bad turnover at a bad time, but like, has he had a single turnover all year even? I don't know. I don't know that answer. I'm asking. If anybody knows, like, let me know. But it didn't feel like he did. So some of the hate he got on the internet was like fucking insane to me.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Like my heart just broke because I thought back to the Titans game and we had a little kid that was sitting with us. It was his birthday and he was just like, Jamal Agnew, I love you. I play you in Madden. And Kendra was like, oh my God, yes, like someone that appreciates Jamal Agnew, because it does seem like, he's not, besides that very obvious and unfortunate play that of course everybody's going to talk about because it does come at such a crucial moment, right? Like that's just how it works. But I thought that, other than that, he wasn't that bad. Like I thought he performed pretty well. And
oh my God, yeah.
he, at the very least, was not worthy of all the criticism that I think he was getting.
Had Butker not tripped him up on that kick return on Saturday, he was gone. Money gone.
Right.
Like it's like one of those, it feels like a penalty kick in fucking soccer when it's like if the goalie stops it, that's fucking sick, good for you. But in that moment, I was like, he's money, he's gone. Everyone knows he's one of the best returners in the league, and then fucking the punter takes you down. That's got to be like demoralizing.
Yeah.
But so I love Jamal.
Yeah, no, he's great. You proudly have called yourself on record a Jamal Agnew apologist. So
I am a Jamal Agnew apologist. Jamal Agnew apologist.
So I have some postseason Jags questions for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
So numbers wise, we look at the season. We don't look at, and we can get into obviously the nitty gritty, but let's just say for explanation's sake, the 2017 Jags and the 2022 Jags, both first in the AFC South, both make it to the playoffs. One goes a little farther than the other. Similarities and differences? What are your thoughts?
Similarities, I would say the defense holding through the stretch of the season, like that, like week 10 or 11 through our, like this season's defense felt like almost lights out, where like they were like a huge issue in the beginning of the season. The 2017 defense was a really good defense year round, but like as they got deeper into the season and further into the playoffs, and like Blake Bortles just, I would rather have Trevor Lawrence than Blake Bortles, even with the turnovers now. Blake Bortles was like our best rusher, I think, that postseason, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, that's the difference there for me. So I would say differences, quarterback play. Similarities, the defense really held through down the stretch of the season. I would say another difference is the like attitudes in the locker room. There were a lot of big personalities on that 2017 team. And they were expected to be good. Like the expectation is another difference. Like that team had to be good. The personalities on that team were a lot bigger, a lot more cocky. There were expectations on them. This team had no expectations whatsoever. I feel like the reason that this team had like a spark of any postseason aspirations, let alone like a postseason run, was just the camaraderie of the locker room. And I think that started with Doug Peterson and the fact that they just have like pretty decent dudes on the team. Like the nicest dude I can think of on the 2017 team is Calais Campbell, and he's like kind of one of the only ones where I'm like, stand up dude. But on this team, I'm like, everyone's freaking awesome. And I would say, yeah, like I'll just circle back to the lack of expectations. I think that was like the difference. Like this team wasn't supposed to be anywhere or do anything, and they thrived. So that was probably, I guess, like the biggest things. A lot of people are saying like they don't like, there was like a huge debate on Jags Twitter the other day about like which team was better, which season was more exciting, like who did you like more, blah, blah, blah. I loved this team so much more than that team. Just because the dudes on this team are so much more likable.
I feel like at the end of the season, the momentum is going for the Jags this year. Whereas at the end of 2017, it was kind of like, we've made it to X place. Like you said, those like, how are we going to meet those expectations? It felt like the momentum was going against them. I feel like this time it's going with them.
Yeah, for sure. The expectations were definitely a lot different, and I loved this team so much more.
They're super likable. Like just even like social media, like, and credit to the Jag social media people. I mean, they really do kill it in the sense that it's very much in the locker room with the guys, getting to see them as who they are as people beyond being a player, which I think is just humanizing them is so important.
Yeah, that clip that went viral this week of Zay talking to Trevor and then Trevor hugging everyone in the locker room, like that's those are that wouldn't have happened on the 2017 team.
I agree.
And that's the biggest difference for me. Honestly, they're completely different teams, 110%. Like they don't have a ton of similarity at all. But like this team is so much more likable, and that just personifies all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So sure. That's my thoughts there.
Yeah. And then obviously Chris Collinsworth on the broadcast on Saturday, say what you want about Chris. He was giving Trevor all the props. And I honestly, it made me smile when he said, this is not the last time we are going to see Patrick Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence go face to face in the NFL playoffs. And that was kind of like a moment for me where I was like, oh my God, these guys are so young. Like there is so Patrick Mahomes, credit to him as a quarterback. I feel like, we've seen him in the postseason so many times at this point, but again, he's still, he could have a great career ahead of him. And, I think he does. And, it's awesome to see that Trevor is getting to that level where we can see him potentially being a competitor for those kind of guys. And it was just awesome to see him really come into the NFL this year. I feel like last year was much more of a transitional period for him and the style of play and the level of play.
Yeah.
So I was happy to hear them say that on the broad. It just, made me smile. I thought it was nice.
Totally. I think that if Trevor can fix the turnovers in the offseason and he can fucking nut the fuck up and hit a couple guys the way he did on that last Chiefs drive, money.
Yeah.
Goated.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
there was a period where it was almost like, is he a bust? Like, you know what I mean? So
oh my God. No, yeah, there was
the
like
second half of this season, it was just like, oh my God, he remembered. Like we're gonna like he can play professional football. Like I think he really redeemed himself in the second half of this season.
I was very skeptical of like the Doug system at first because for a hot minute it felt like he was prioritizing Trevor figuring his system out over winning winnable games at winnable times. And that was my biggest issue with Trevor and Doug at the time. And a lot of people were making excuses for him. And I was just at a point with like, he was going so south. The turnovers were insane. We were losing stupid games to stupid teams. And, he wound up buying into what Doug was selling quicker than I think people expected at a certain point. And I'm glad he did. I fucking love Doug Peterson now. I'm on the Trevor train. I understand why people were giving the excuse of Urban Meyer, but it's like at a certain time you have to show. It's like he showed either he was the best coming of like Christ to earth, or he was like fucking the worst quarterback of all time. And he really just hit a switch of being like really inconsistent and terrible to like, okay, he's arrived. And it just fucking happened. I swear to God, in 1 week.
Oh yeah. It was crazy.
Like 1 week. So, and I'm glad it happened. I don't care how it happens. I don't care when it happened. It fucking happened and I'm here for it. But I would like to see the shitty turnovers change.
Yeah, which leads us into kind of our next thing, which is how are we feeling about free agency? Obviously, I know for me at the end of the season, and I've seen it on Jags Twitter, Jags radio, everywhere, the passing defense. I have here, so we fit it, as I literally start throwing things. So the Jags finished the season with a 238.2 yards allowed per game, 27th in the league. So my question that I've heard is how much of that is on the linebackers? And then we can talk about where do we need to go with free agency.
So I think that You have to let the linebackers kind of, well, I don't know. It's going to depend on the Josh Allen situation.
Right.
Because I don't think Josh Allen is going to take a pay cut whatsoever. I think that he's going to want to take what he's worth. And if that's not in Jacksonville, that's fine. I think that he will go where the money is. And that's fine. I'm so fine with that. So I do think that they've invested a lot of draft capital recently in the defense, a lot of that at linebacker. So I don't want to keep doing that if it's not working out. I understand that free agency is the best place to probably address this problem. And I think that you are more likely to be able to address the secondary in the draft because I think that there's going to be more options there with the slot that we have. I'm not super balls deep into draft talk yet, but just off of like a first glance. So I do think that linebacker is something that they're going to have to address. That being said, there's 3 major people they have to sign before I think that they can attack the linebacker issue if they aren't going to face it in the draft. And I do think that they can sign Evan Ingram, Arden Key, and Jawan Taylor. But I don't know about Jawan. I think that Evan wants to be in Jacksonville. I think that we can easily give him $9 million for a couple of years and it'll be fine. We haven't had an elite player at tight end since Mercedes Lewis, and I think that he's a big upgrade from what Mercedes Lewis was when he was in Jacksonville. We also have invested some draft stock in tight end, and it all like Luke's not really playing, and Chris Manhertz is like your blocking tight end. He also isn't out there a whole lot, so Evan Ingram really has to be your option there. I think that he's the fan favorite to be brought back, especially because he loves Jacksonville and very openly wants to be here. I think that he might even give us a discount if we really need it. Arden Key, another must-have for me. Jawan Taylor, I think that the way that the season kind of shook out with the injuries on that line, he's a huge person to bring back, but I think that he might want too much money, and that's because you have to keep Trevor's future contract kind of in the back of your mind when you're signing all of these deals, because after next season, you're probably going to want to pay him, because if you don't, you get into the Lamar Jackson situations where you've waited too long and every day that passes, you're going to owe him more money.
Right.
So that being said, I think that it's time to start, in the next couple of weeks, looking at who we might be able to realistically get in the draft. I'm hoping it's going to be secondary, and then get your guys back and address free agency at linebacker. I guess that really is kind of your best option, but you've invested so much draft stock there at that point. And it's like, I don't think that you can. Josh Allen, I love him. He's like the only guy left on the team from that. I don't know. I love him, but I think it's time to break up.
Yeah. First and foremost, they need to get under cap.
I'm not worried about the cap.
Because they are.
I think it's fake.
You've heard it here first, folks. The cap is fake.
You're telling me, no, the cap is fucking fake, dude. It's so fake. I don't believe in it.
No, dude.
It's a lie. We can launder some money. I will personally launder money for Trent Baalke.
Start a GoFundMe.
I'm not kidding. Trent, call me. You are starting to earn some cool points with me. I'll go to jail for you, Trent Baalke.
Okay, well, for those of us who think that caps are real and businesses have to put a limit on their spending,
nah.
They need to get under cap. And I think the first thing they're going to do is get rid of Shaquille.
Shaq is gone 11 weeks ago, Hailey. Shaq is gone.
They haven't done it yet, but he's gone. Even when they do that, that's 17 mil, 13 mil guaranteed, 14 dead money. So, or 4 mil dead money. So that gives you 4 million hypothetically to spend. I think you make some good points about the linebacker situation, and I would agree at this rate, if you've spent X number of dollars and X number of draft picks to build a system, stop wasting money on that system. So I would say a cornerback would be great. I think that would be great for them. I think there's a couple in the market that would work, but I honestly never know with the Jags, and I'm a Patriots fan too. I never know what they're gonna do.
You have Eli Apple in our notes, and I would
I did.
personally
I did.
I would buy
I
his
did.
jersey from DHgate, purposely DHgate, because I don't even respect him, to burn it. Literally, I would hold like a curse, like of some sort, to curse him before he got into town.
What does it say next to Eli Apple on the notes?
LOL.
Because if you look, we were talking about free agency.
That is my hell.
I've been listening all week to just different people and reading different articles, and I kept seeing Eli Apple, and I was dying because I know the deep-seated hatred Kendra has. So I had to put him on the notes. Not really serious. Jags,
Actually,
please.
You know what? Let's talk about him for a second.
Okay.
Did you see his tweets this week?
I did.
What are your thoughts? If you haven't seen his tweets and you live under a rock, basically he tweeted some really shitty shit to it was like an argument, but him and Stephon Diggs were like going back and forth, and like a couple other people, and he was like, have fun in he was like Cancun in 3.
Cancun, and then he did like
his heart thing.
Yeah.
And DeMar Hamlin's obviously number 3, and like it was very shady, and he just kept talking shit, and then his mom started talking shit, and it's like you are not good enough to be like.
No, it was one of those situations where it's like you're talking a lot of shit for most of the population to be like, who?
Mid.
Like, if you're gonna talk a big game, like be a big game. Like, I just feel like if you're gonna
I'm talking shit about him and I'm in a cat outfit, but like
I also like probably couldn't run a mile right now to save my ass. It's so. Can we talk about how cold it is outside? It's freezing.
I don't want to talk about it.
Freezing here where we are. So, if I went outside, I think I would freeze. But
so
anyway,
they spent a lot of money in free agency last year, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm hoping that Devin Lloyd will grow a brain in the next 6 months. And that's going to solve all my problems.
I'm worried about their cap space.
What if Chad Muma and Devin Lloyd could like share their football IQ and physical ability at 50-50?
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm at. I'm also really hoping that this edible doesn't kick in while we're on here, but I have a feeling.
So you're just going to start like genetically modifying the team? Is that your strategy?
I'm pro GMO. Yeah. I'm really not, but like, yeah.
Speak on it.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
Can we, who's got some Petri dishes?
Yeah. Dude. Germs 101.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm about to
UNH listeners know.
I'm going to spill a germs secret. So there's this class at UNH that you could take called germs.
The easiest class at UNH.
It was not. It was so hard when I took it.
They changed it. Yeah,
it was so hard when I took it. And it's literally about germs.
You took it senior year, right?
Yes, bitch.
Yeah, because I told her to take it. Because I was like, this is the easiest class ever. And they changed the curriculum because everybody knew that it was the easiest class. So now Kendra takes it. Resume your story.
It was my nightmare. Anyways, one of your projects in this fucking class is to like swab one of your like own thing. You can swab anything you want and you can just see what kind of germs are growing on it. I was in this class with a bunch of UNH football players because they also took it thinking it was going to be easy. And I didn't have like, I'm not calling myself a student athlete because I didn't have like the grind of practices and stuff, but I worked for athletics. I worked another job and I was a student. So like I was still going to like multiple games a week. I was at a game every night, fucking working. Anyways. Yeah.
The grind, working in sports.
Anyway, so there were a bunch of football players in my class. I just went on a stupid tangent for no reason. One of them decided, he lived in the football house on campus, decided to swab his roommate in the football house's Xbox controller. And a couple weeks later, it came back with fecal matter on it. I will tell you who it was off of the air. Even though I think if I gave you a list of 10 people,
my Uber is here.
You would get it.
My Uber's
10
here.
times out of 10.
I have to go. Thank you so much.
10 times out of 10.
Oh my God. Did they show it in front of the class?
No, but you
Oh
had
my
to like
God,
write
thank
it on the
God.
paper. And we all sat together.
I literally can't.
So
Okay.
anyways.
Well, yeah. So germs 101.
Yeah.
If you're a UNH student or prospective student, those are the kind of things you can expect.
Don't take germs. Take literally anything else.
So
all right.
yeah, free agency, absolutely crazy. Also, just side note, the running back pool in free agency this season, absolutely wild. Can't wait to see where Saquon ends up.
Quick predictions. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers staying or going? Go.
Oh my God. Tom Brady's gone 100% based off that post-game interview. That was very much like I was raised a Patriots fan. I was there through the whole dynasty. That man is too stubborn to quit. I think he's going to go somewhere else. I think it would be interesting to see him in San Francisco. I wouldn't be surprised if that's
No, I think Vegas.
I think it's going to be one of the two.
I've literally always said Vegas. Even before he went to Tampa, I was like Vegas.
I would be interested to see the dynamic with Giselle.
What if Matt Stafford retired and he went to LA?
Because I wonder how much that's going to play a role in his decision where the kids are going to be.
Well, did you see he was touring a school in Miami, like for his kids?
Right. So they're in Florida. That's what I'm saying. They're in Florida. And obviously in the past, I mean, they're getting divorced, RIP, but in the past, he's made career decisions based around
they are divorced.
Kids. So yeah, they are divorced. Yeah, record time, like really fast, like 34 seconds or something. 34 minutes or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So I'm going to be interested to see. I think that's going to play a role too. Like I don't necessarily know if he's going to go out west. You know, like is there going to be issues with that? So we'll see. But I don't think he's staying in Tampa for sure.
Okay.
Him and Mike McDaniel would be crazy. That would be wild if he was in Miami. I don't see why they would do that. But anyway.
All right, Aaron Rodgers, go.
Oh my God. I don't know. I guess I can't imagine him anywhere else. Like, I guess, I don't know. I don't think he's working in the Packers offensive system anymore.
I think he just hates them. I saw someone Photoshop him in a Jets uniform, and I was like, he looks incredibly unathletic.
I would hate that.
I would kind of love that. I would love
if he went there and bombed.
Like, I would love to watch Aaron Rodgers burn in New Jersey.
Well, it would be really crazy if like he went somewhere and did super well, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Like I'm not a real like Aaron Rodgers truther. Like I'm gonna be honest right now. Like I'm not there's something about him. I just don't think he's a super likable guy. I'm sure he's a really nice person, but like I don't really know. And he doesn't blow me away as a quarterback. Like I get very like
he's fantastic, but like I just hate him as a person.
I think he's great. Like he's a great quarterback, but yeah, there's something I don't know. Is it me? Like there's something that's not likable about him. I don't know.
He's
what
just walking.
Maybe I'm a hater. Maybe I'm a hater.
I am a hater. I'm an Aaron Rodgers hater.
I'm sorry for any Aaron Rodgers lovers, but
I've let you down. But it's true.
Is he still with Shailene Woodley? Because I like her.
No, he was dating like that girl Blue of Earth for a while.
Maybe that's why I don't like him because I like Shailene Woodley. So maybe
I
he
do
did
too.
Dirty.
Yeah, just like Shailene.
Apparently, excuse me, audience. Apparently, some men don't realize that John Mayer is like canceled among women. Like he's not nice to women. I had some guy friends the other day that were like, John Mayer's a nice guy. And I was like, no.
I was with you. We were at the Bruins.
Yeah, he's never been a nice guy. So I don't know where that was. But just so you know, guys out there, don't tell women that you're... I mean, he is a great musician. I love John Mayer's music. But like, I would not go telling women that you are trying to hook up with that you think he's a nice person. Because they will not agree with you.
Life lessons. Okay, let's quickly preview championship weekend. 49ers, Eagles, I believe is the earlier game.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Irrelevant is going to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. I believe it. I kind of want the headline to be that. Like, imagine being the last pick in the fucking draft and starting in a Super Bowl in the same 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pro Mr. Irrelevant. I think Kyle Shanahan's offense is foolproof. The defense is good enough. I think they're going to lose to whoever wins the AFC. Those are my predictions.
I have to give you credit for your optimism. That's very uncharacteristic.
Oh my God, the burn. I love it.
Well, no, I am laughing because I have the Eagles for this. And I know intern Tyler's going to laugh when he watches this later because I always roast him for being Mr. Negative, Mr. Pessimist. But I can't see Brock Purdy getting into the NFC Championship and not blowing it. I will be incredibly impressed if he gets out there and absolutely murders it. I think you cannot underestimate the amount of pressure that young man is feeling right now in his position. Everybody's talking about Mr. Irrelevant. On the broadcast on Sunday, that's all they're going to be saying, Mr. Irrelevant, So I don't know that he can get out there and not choke. So,
I don't think that they even need him to I don't think they even need him to play perfect. They just need him to be okay.
Yeah.
They could play fucking Kyle Juszczyk lined up at fullback every single play and win that game.
Yeah. That's the thing too, right? Like, it also depends on the Eagles defense. If the Eagles defense gives them the same amount of pressure that they gave the Giants last weekend, I don't know how Brock Purdy's going to do under that pressure. I don't think he got the same amount of pressure.
Put Christian McCaffrey at quarterback. It doesn't fucking matter.
I know, but I don't know. The Eagles defense, it looked really good last weekend.
I just feel like Kyle Shanahan's playing a video game.
I know.
With Brock Purdy at quarterback, and he's killing it.
And I feel like such a hater in this episode, but I'm also like not a super Kyle Shanahan truther
and
either.
I'm a pessimist.
I know.
Are uniting against this bullshit.
This is so weird. I was not ready for this, but yeah, I mean, I like that we can disagree. But yes, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So your score predictions, madam.
So I think that my last point.
Oh yeah, or your last point.
Whoever can win the battle of the trenches will win this game at the end of the day. It doesn't matter that Brock Purdy is playing. I think that that's where the game's going to come down to. I'm still sticking with San Francisco. I'm going to say 24-20 San Francisco.
Okay. Closing thoughts for me on the NFC Championship. I think that at the link, game day at the link, I can't wait for the amount of videos and
the content.
Eagles fans content is just something else. So I can't wait for that. I think that Mr. Brock Purdy is going to crumble under the pressure at the link on Sunday. I'm going to be honest. I got the Eagles with this one. I think that their offensive play calling has been incredible this season, knowing when to run the ball, knowing when to pass the ball. Even though Hurts is coming off that injured shoulder, I think that ability to be able to switch it up will kind of switch it up. Will take that pressure off of him to constantly be throwing the ball down the field. And 5 sacks against the Giants last weekend. Let that not go unnoticed. So an unexperienced, new baby quarterback against that defense. I just don't see it working out. I have Eagles winning at 27, San Francisco 21.
Slay Queen. Okay. Last thing we will get into before our closing segments is the AFC Championship game. I think that the Bengals might be a team of destiny to get to the playoffs 2 years in a row and lose in the Super Bowl. Because they looked super beatable. And then last week they came out there and crushed it. They have so many weird injuries and people not practicing, and I don't know.
Do you have Brock Purdy to win the Super Bowl? Is that
No.
what you're telling me right now?
No, I have the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Okay. I was like,
as long as it's not Chad Henne, dude.
the optimism from
As long as it's not,
today.
dude. Could you imagine if we have Chad Henne versus Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl?
It's in the notes. It's Chad Henne under.
Actually, you know what? Fuck every single thing I have said. I want Chad Henne and Brock Purdy in the fucking Super Bowl. That is my chaos. Imagine Rihanna as the halftime show.
No.
That's your quarterback matchup.
No.
That is my Super Bowl.
I would have to be so unsober for that event.
That would be.
I literally can't even begin to imagine.
But then again, Joe Burrow versus Jalen Hurts is also so fun.
I know. Well, that's what.
But I want chaos, and that is Brock Purdy and Chad.
Okay, Vegas, you've heard it here first. You can go with the Hurts Burrow duo, or you can just really switch it up and do Chad Henne and
Vegas would shit itself.
Yeah.
And I think that the NFL wants that.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Okay. Anyways, to seem like I have a brain. I think Patrick Mahomes is really, really hurt. So my question to you is a hurt Patrick Mahomes better than no Patrick Mahomes / a healthy Chad Henne?
Chad Henne had a touchdown scoring drive last weekend.
Hey, honey, he used to play for the Jags. I'm familiar with Chad Henne's game.
So I know, and I agree, but I will say right here, right now, that you and we will not take Chad Henne slander on this podcast.
Pro Chad Henne.
Not. However, I think a one-legged Patrick Mahomes is probably a better quarterback than Chad Henne. I don't know that he's going to last long in the pocket is the issue.
I think
so. I don't know.
I think that their secret weapon, and it's not a secret at all because he's a very large man, is Travis Kelce. Their run game's great, but it's the reason that their offense didn't drop off this year was because not having Tyreek Hill didn't hurt them. And if Patrick Mahomes,
which is crazy, what a wild statement. Absolutely, clip that. Not having Tyreek Hill didn't hurt them. That's insane for an NFL team.
Not having Patrick Mahomes be able to do Patrick Mahomes things when he definitely wants to do Patrick Mahomes things kind of scares me, because if you are not Patrick Mahomes 100%, you're going to have some turnovers.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, Andy Reid is a very slept-on coach in the NFL. I think he knows his players very well, obviously not letting Patrick Mahomes go back in when he really wanted to, and you can see him really want to go, and he's like, nope, you gotta get checked out first.
Andy. Good on Andy.
Yeah, shout out, that's hype. But I think that he's very smart, and I think he's gonna, play it the way he sees fit. So, I think they're gonna put up a good fight. I have Cincy to win this game. They've won the last 3 games they've played against the Chiefs. I think they've got them on lock in terms of offense. I think that Arrowhead is no challenge to them, where other teams, I think it's a very intimidating environment. I've heard the game day experience there is absolutely nuts. That's the thing. I'd love to go to Arrowhead, but I've heard it's Kansas City. What do they have? So I don't know. Let us know if there's anything fun to do in Kansas City. Maybe we'll go, but right now I'm a little sus about it.
I am pretty sus about it.
But, the defense looked great last week against number 13 player ranked Josh Allen.
What home game we have to go to next year?
What?
Because it's going to be a wild day in Jacksonville because of Trevor Lawrence. Kansas City at Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That's a must.
That's going to be crazy.
That's a must. Okay. All right. So, my score prediction.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 34-31 Chiefs.
Wow.
Just because I want a high score. I want the over.
Yeah, the overs on these games and the over-unders on these games are kind of intense, right? Like I feel like they can go totally, and that's the whole fucking point, right? But like I'm like, dude, I don't know. I have, and here's my other point real quick before I finish this up. Jags super reserved in terms of their defense on Mahomes in the second half of last weekend. Like I was like, oh my, like one, respectfully, I was, shout out them. They didn't want to hurt him even more, but I don't think the Bengals are gonna. I think they're gonna blitz him and blitz him and blitz him and blitz him again.
Oh, as they should, especially
as they
if he's hurt.
As they should. What are your thoughts? I mean, what do you think? I think the Jags probably should have thrown a blitz or two in the second half, but I don't know. I don't think Mahomes is going to be able to, if he can't move in the pocket.
I don't think you can do that just because, like, even if, like you said, him with one leg is probably better than Chad Henne. It's like he has so many weapons that if you send too many people and you leave any of those threats open, he'll punish you 9 out of 10 times. I don't care if he's hurt.
Exactly.
So I think it's going to depend on the injury report this week on how they play that, but I don't think you can sacrifice it. I think that you just have to eat where you can in that situation.
Yeah, we'll see. So I think I got Joe Burrow. I'm a Joe Burrow truther. I got Bengals 31, Chiefs 24. So we have a 10-point differential between your Chiefs score and my Chiefs score. But
slay. Okay. Couple of closing segments. Pop culture shit of the week. I see your Paris Fashion Week. Let's talk about it.
Your thoughts first.
So Hailey put in our notes, Paris Fashion Week, kind of over it. It feels like we have one every month. I agree and disagree. I do understand why we have a couple because of the seasons or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like they're just egregious. And like, I see people either shaming Doja Cat on the internet or being like, she's fashion for fashion's sake or whatever. And I don't really know where I stand because like, I get like the fact that she's like, all right, like I'm going to be cool without like being sexy. I don't know if you saw her dressed like a man yesterday. Like, I get that. But I think it's going too far. Did you see the girl who like her shoes didn't fit her, so she like took them off on the runway? Like, I just think that it's become too much clickbait and it's not about like the clothing anymore. It's like who will do something weird on the runway and like what model is going to do this and like influencers and blah.
Yeah, it feels very repetitive to me. I feel like there's nothing. I feel like we're, and I don't want to be like, oh, like PC, whatever, but like, I feel like it's how far we have come. It's not inclusive to the point where you would expect. Like, it's very much the same thing, just like happening over and over again, like crazy clothes on super thin people. Like, I mean, I love the meme content that comes out of it.
The meme content is
Doja
good.
In the all red doing the side eye. That is so funny. I think she's hysterical. I like when people like her that are really not, kind of in that space are able to go and make, a really big impact or wear something really cool and kind of just shake things up a little bit. But I know we have seasons and things like that. Like maybe just do like New York and Paris or New York and Milan. Like Milan always has really cool fashion week stuff. I love the stuff that comes out of the Milan Fashion Week. But at this rate, like I'm bored. Like I'm tired of it.
I like it. I like it. I have no comment on my pop culture segment. It's quite truly just that Kanye West is married.
So crazy. This is such a good thing to put down because I think that literally happened and everyone was like, okay. And like that, like, wow.
I just quite truly have nothing to say, but I just needed to say it.
Yeah.
So that's that. My Tea Party thought segment situation of the week. If you're on TikTok / you're a girl that listens to this show, I'm sure you know about like the Tarte makeup trip. If you're a boy that listens to this show, basically this like makeup brand that had a huge moment like a couple of years ago for a couple of years, like had all these influencers and a +1 go to Dubai, put them up in like this bougie ass hotel, like did all this crazy shit with them, gave them all this product. And like the influencers basically didn't use any of the makeup, didn't make any videos about the trip. And the company like wound up firing like their director of marketing from it. And it's been like a big deal. And there's like all these like conspiracy theories and stuff about it. I think that first of all, this is insane. But second of all, the conspiracy theories are more insane. Like, this had, like, do you think that this was just like this was the end marketing goal, was to just cause a ruckus and then fire somebody and then have like a rebrand?
Kendra, I was so deep in this drama this past week.
Perfect.
And I think it's because there was a year or two period of time, right, where like beauty influencer drama was like all over the internet. Like it was all over everything I was seeing. And obviously like a lot of stuff happened. And then, I feel like you don't see it on the YouTube space or online even at all anymore outside of Instagram. So I think when this story broke, everyone that was part of that era was kind of like, oh my God, like Tarte, like drama, so crazy. And these videos of these girls on this trip, like literally shading the makeup, saying they don't like it and aren't going to use. I was like, wow. And
but you could see it. Like, I don't know if you saw the video of the girl with like all the makeup like spilling out of the contour thing. I was just like, no.
It's so cringy. Like the whole thing is just so cringy, and influencer culture is just so crazy to me. Like these brand trips, things like that. And like you and I obviously deal with that with what you do, and me being your friend for so long, I've seen it through your perspective. And it's just like those, like the makeup brands are just like so different. There's just something going on with
beauty brands are
crazy. So, shout out to anybody that has gone on a beauty influencer brand trip, because I
kind of want to go one time though.
I know, and they go to really cool places. We're talking all this shit, and we're like, I'm not
shading. I just think that the way that this one shook out, like, is kind of wild. I do watch a lot of the Revolve vloggers, I will say, and I do like a lot of those girls. But just Tarte as a whole. Do you wear any Tarte makeup?
The Shape Tape concealer is no joke, girl.
You're a Shape Tape girl?
I don't use it because I'm not going to pay $30 for a concealer. I'll tell you that right now. I use Makeup Revolution under eye concealer.
Me too. No, I use... No, it's not Makeup Revolution. It is
Conceal and Define.
No, I think it's Wet and Wild, and it's like $2.99, girl.
Girl, I love that for you. Her. Oh my God, in the Jags outfit. I have to go. My tea. Kendra has been tweeting about it. I'm sure you've heard about it. The Shakira diss track. This song. Oh my God. And then we have NBA in Paris this week, and Gerard's there with Irina Shayk.
I think it's Shayk, but I'm not sure, right? Isn't it?
One of the two, Shayk or
something.
Shayk. Apologies.
Please tell us. You can correct me. I will not be offended. Below. Yes.
But she, for those of you who don't know, is the former girlfriend of Bradley Cooper, and they broke up during the Lady Gaga Star is Born Oscar steamy performance era. So they were spotted together, her and Gerard, after the Shakira diss track. Thoughts, Kendra?
I would like to time out because Deidre just sent me a video of Trevor Lawrence on Facebook.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, great.
We love you, Mama D. Just send her a picture of me.
Thank you, guys, and all y'all that are in here that are Jacksonville people. Man, we appreciate you guys. A lot of ups and downs, even just this season. And it was a special year for.
Thanks, Deidre.
Wow. We did it, Joe.
Shout out Trevor Lawrence. Shout out Deidre.
We did it, Trev.
We did it, Joe. Yeah. Okay. Thoughts on the Gerard Piqué situation? 1, I think he's a piece of shit. 2,
trash. Absolute trash.
Probably the hottest man alive.
He's so hot.
The hottest man alive.
That's exactly how I feel about Ronaldo.
But Shakira is also so hot, and like, just don't be a piece of shit.
She's so hot.
NBA in Paris though, I have 0 thoughts. I don't. All of these leagues are like, let's go abroad.
No, I don't get it, and we're also. This is the hater episode.
Yeah,
because we were also like, we're going to leave to London for Jacksonville, and then one of us, not going to say who, but one of us didn't get their passport redone, so we couldn't go. But we want to go. I don't know.
I'm so glad we didn't go to that game. Thank God.
Because they look crazy. Like, it doesn't look like an enjoyable experience. It just looks
I'm just glad because it was the Broncos game.
Yeah, triggered.
If I had to watch Russell Wilson fucking dick me down IRL, no, that is my nightmare. He is the most cringe human alive. I would rather lose to 30 other people in the NFL.
Do you think his wife knows that he's cringe?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that she just is also probably cringe and not.
You think? She's so gorgeous.
She's incredible. And her music slaps. But
Yeah.
I'm just like,
it's unfortunate.
They have the Future also shitty, but like way cooler.
It's a mess.
Way cooler. It's such a mess. Anyways, that was my thoughts on Gerard.
So I don't know so Kendra, she makes show notes and then she sends them over and then she just kind of makes these categories. This one just said tweets. So if you want to go first, I just went on Twitter and found something funny. So
that's
all I did for this.
I copy and pasted our normal show notes and it's just your tweets of the week. So like the tweet of the week that was either like bonk worthy or your favorite thing that you saw on Twitter. This is my least favorite thing that happened to me on Twitter this week. So this is like a bonk of the week.
So good. So good.
I was on Xbox last night and was just like, scrolling through some like questions because I did like a Q&A on Instagram. And a guy asked me if I would sell him a video of me farting. And I wanted to die. And
yeah, that's tough.
yeah. I hate everyone.
That's a tough one for sure.
I just got an email that Batty Bickles and 23 other people followed me on Instagram.
Oh my God. Well, I hope none of them asked you for farts.
Batty Bickles.
Wow. Shout out Batty Bickles. If you're watching, please don't solicit us for fart videos.
Yes. Okay. What is your favorite or least favorite tweet this week?
So I just wanted to cause havoc with you this week and I wanted to shout out the National Park Service Twitter page.
I love the National Park Twitter.
If you don't follow the National Park Twitter, please follow it. I'm really hoping that it's actually I think it is. They have like 1 million followers.
And they have a blue check.
Yeah, I know, but I have beef with Elon, so I don't trust anything that Twitter tells me. But anyway, so National Park Service's Twitter, they basically it's a millennial or a Gen Z running that Twitter account. They post the funniest shit. It is hysterical. Memes galore.
Yes.
Like, it's just so good. They tweeted the other day, this is one of my personal favorites. You know it's cold outside when you go outside and it's cold. And that's Kendra in Boston, for those of you that need to know.
I retweeted that one. Did the Dallas Zoo find the leopard?
I don't know, but I think that's the least important problem that Dallas has.
No, that's the most important problem. That thing's like a 25-pound leopard. I want it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lose it.
People in Texas, stop buying large cats. I'm kind of like that's like COVID time. We're over that. Tiger King, we're kind of over that. So stop doing that. And then if you have them, stop letting them go. Keep it to yourself, because I don't want to that's very easy for me to say as a New Englander, right? I get it. I'm not from the South, whatever. But maybe we just don't keep tigers and leopards anymore.
In Florida?
Yeah, but he went to Oklahoma too. And there's a bunch of them in Texas. Dude, it's crazy. America's big cat market. Look at it. Look into it. Absolutely wild stuff going on right there. Real quick, they found Carol Baskin's husband.
I saw that. That's so good.
Is it sad that I was kind of bummed? I was like, oh, that's.
I thought that it was awesome because she's even more crazy, but in a less cool way.
Oh, so you're a Carol. You've heard it here first, folks. Kendra is a Carol Baskin apologist. She is pro Carol. She was happy.
Carol Baskin.
She was happy that he did not. She did not kill her husband. That's probably good. Okay, yeah.
Is that your closing thought?
Yeah. No, my closing thought is going to be, I'm rooting for Drew Lock. I think I'm rooting for Drew Lock.
Mine is that I'm rooting for a Brock Purdy Super Bowl.
You're delusional.
Against Chad Henne. I think my edible is
Vegas.
hitting me right now. I cannot open my eyes.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, love you guys. I'll see you next week. This edible is so hard.
Bye, gang.